Alrighty, we're loaded into the second series of the round of the Olimoleague December Finals. In the bottom right-hand side of Nightshade, it is the Chinese Ro8. It is Cyan. And in the top left-hand side, in the slightly darker blue, it is Deer. Old school Deer. I've not seen Deer in a while, but always a formidable foe, that's for sure. And both players going to be going for that double gate at the front as well. This is actually a really big map. I'm actually curious. I think this might be one of the best maps right now. Like, in terms of macros, like, kind of macro games, I feel like this probably will make one of the most interesting, one of the coolest, most epic games ever. Eventually, I think this year definitely is bound to happen. However, this map is hella fucking dark. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Like, you can't see shit. I have a filter on right now to add some brightness, and it's still dark as hell. And some people don't put any brightness filters on their streams because it does affect, you know, color and quality a little bit. But it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, it just hurts your eyes so much. At least, like, these players didn't choose, like, any purple color or dark color. That would be so terrible. But anyway, he's going to be looking around. He wants to make sure that's... Okay, well, Cyan is making sure that Deer isn't doing anything weird. Or it's because he wants to have some hidden tech on the way. And that's very, very cool. He wants to either scare him into thinking there's some hidden tech, or he just wants to place a pylon here, and that's pretty much it. This might be something I will tend to do in the future, where to go for an expand, but I fake that, you know, my second pylon's not there. That's very, very cool. I like this. I like this a lot. He's just scaring Deer into being defensive, when in reality, he's probably just going to stay on, you know, on the normal probes. He even puts some guys on gas just to fake, like, okay, I'm going to definitely go for tech, but I bet you as soon as these, like, come out, he might even pull some off. Actually, no, probably not. It's 16 out of 16. There's no really reason he would, but he is going to keep them on gas so far. So far, the signs are that he is definitely doing a hidden tech. I should be careful here. He's going to go for double stalkers right now, as that is a very strong defensive play against either Stargate or anything that can come in the future. Now, early game, I'd say stalkers, probably the strongest unit. Not at killing, but definitely defensively against, you know, other stalkers, against oracles, against adepts. Probably your strongest choice there. And he's going to want to stall him on his base with that pylon as well, allowing him to get a little bit more supply. Now, he's still scouting around just to make sure everything is fine, or actually looking for that probe. He's going to be like, okay, well, where's that probe right now? He actually denies it pretty much. What is the tech of choice here? Looks like it's a robo facility first versus a Stargate first. This is going to be interesting. Now, early game, the Stargate is going to be way stronger than the robo, unless the robo has some sort of really strong timing. Well, let's see how that actually pans out. Cyan does have the stalker advantage here. The slight light blue, the cyan blue, versus the dark blue. Wait, I just realized Cyan has his own color. That's excellent. That is excellent. Okay, well, he's going to start putting some pressure here, and I mean, there's not much that he can do about it. There's no shield battery here. There is 4 stalkers against 4 now. It's all going to depend who gets those first shots off. He's going to want to take some pot shots at the pylon. Might take a little bit of fire, but he's going to have to be really careful here. What was that unit? Looks like it is an oracle, so he is... Knowing that the stalkers are on the other side of the map, he's going to have to keep, like, 2 stalkers home. Looks like, okay, well, shield battery actually went down just to prevent that as well. And 2 sentries on the way as well. So this isn't going to get much damage done, but it is going to be able to do a lot of scouting and possibly some revelations as well. Okay, well, actually, he does get 1 probe. He's going to see that there's a shield battery there, and he has to get on out of there immediately. And a second oracle on the way as well. Looks like the double oracle is going to be the play, but no, you can't have double oracle if your oracle actually dies there. So... very nicely played up by Cyan, denying Deer his double oracles, which would allow him to actually one-shot probes at this point, even if he did have... Wait, hold on. That's not a robo. Did he just switch the robo for another Stargate? Looks like he did. I didn't realize when this happened, but that's a mega brain play right there. Going for his own oracles, and, you know, it's quite unsuspecting right now, as there are 2 stalkers, but no shield batteries, which, so, you know, if you wanted to... Oh, okay. So he's using the Oracle defensively with Stasis Wards to be able to, you know, secure his expansion. However, I mean, Deer is so ahead on the expansion count, though. It's 34 probes to the 29. But oh, okay, he didn't actually place any pylons. So he does shade in, but he wasn't quite careful. He didn't see that there was in fact stalkers, and he's barely gonna get 2, I think. Yeah, okay, so he does get 3 probes in total there. But that was not ideal, I don't think. More oracles on the way on the other side as well. Pylon here for Cyan, in case he wants to reinforce with anything. Okay, and Deer just gonna walk in with this oracle though. But there is, I mean, you need double oracle right now if you want to do any damage at all. So I'm not too sure what he's doing right now. He's actually sending both of his oracles in. Now, does he have any idea about the Stargate right now? Yeah, okay, so he does. So he does know, but he doesn't have any defenses in the main. That's the big problem. Is he actually going to try and go for a potential third base? That's pretty risky. Now, the oracle is going to go into the main. That's a zippity zap. A lot of probes are, and that's 4, that's 5, 6, 7. And that's a whole lot of damage. He does pull some probes though, but he's gonna kill a stalker in the process. He's gonna be careful. His driving there was not fantastic, and as oracles, when they turn, they do big like half circles, so did not help at all. He's gonna keep on the pressure with more adepts as well. I'm not sure if he actually finishes those shades. Looks like he doesn't. He sees that there are some problems. A little bit of damage on the other side though. Wait, I'm kind of missed that. I think it was here. This actually kills some like 6 probes, so all of a sudden he kind of equalizes that. And okay, well, he does find a pylon here, so there's no chance of reinforcement, but he is looking to see if he can get any damage done. The shades finish, and finally more probes going down. So many probes going down in this game in general. Looks like it's gonna be up to 16, maybe even a 17th. Yeah. A 17th probe for Cyan, and it's 42-37. They keep going back and forth, and now the Phoenix just scouting what is going on. He's going into Immortals from here. Just kind of back up his Stargate play. It's a lot of Stalkers into the Immortals with the Glaives, actually. So it's going to be maybe even a Glaive timing from here, which is a very strong timing with anything that's not quite defensive. I mean, there isn't actually any shield batteries here, so that's one of the most important ways to be able to hold off Glaive all-ins is with the shield batteries. Now, the Stasis Wards will help him on the defense here. So if these Stalkers get caught, especially going up the high ground here, they can potentially lose their lives. Okay, well, he will scout it, and that's a fantastic pickup on the Oracle. He knows that they are there, and look at that. Even anticipating the Stasis Wards almost, it seems. And only sending a Stalker forward. Does he actually have Blink? Yeah, he does have Blink. That's very, very strong. So he can pick off this pylon if he wants to and just GTFO from there. Very nice. Blinking across that canvas there. And who is looking for the third base first? Looks like both of them actually thinking about it at the exact same time. The first one being dropped down by Deer. Looks like Cyan might actually want to drop down his own as well. But oh, these Stalkers actually found that probe before that happened. So that gets delayed a little bit farther, and he can just get on out of there whenever he wants to. So that's a fantastic pickoff there. Kind of delaying the third base, but a Warp Prism going across the map to try and do some counter damage as well. He does scout that with the Phoenix, and he's going to want to apply some counter pressure with his big Immortals. Now, okay, so he does have Archons as well right now. Is he going to want to warp in some Adepts as well? We will see a small counterattack with that as well. He does really want to place his third base, but it's just never going to happen. He's never letting him actually drop that down. And now our counter... Ooh, okay, well, he actually gets 3 Stalkers there, which is not bad at all. And he actually chooses to recall himself back to prevent any damage from happening. I think he probably just used his Warpin. Yeah, exactly. He used his Warpin first to be able to defend that, so he couldn't quite warp in defensively if he wanted to go against those Stalkers. Some Adepts are going to go into the main. Now, keep in mind, these Adepts actually have the Resonating Glaive, but they only take effect after the shade finishes, so he's going to want to lure him into the third base with these 4 Adepts and just using the shade to get on out of there if he absolutely wants to, but that is a complete bait as he's going to shade into the natural while dropping into the main, and he's going to, shade in a little bit more. Going to want to counterattack with his huge army at the front as well, trying to get into the right position, but I mean, his army's right there. He's not going to let him go up the ramp that easily. And now these Adepts doing even more damage to Deer right now. It's going to shade into the natural once more, and this is going to be even more damage right now. However, the army for Deer is really strong with all of these charge lots, and the Archons doing a lot of damage as well. Also mitigating the damage, so for only 6 probes going down for Deer. So it's still quite equal. However, look at all of these Adepts, though. It's really strong. However, the more Archons he gets, the more he's going to be able to counter this properly. And so far, this is not too bad if he wants to give this up. He's just going to stay on the high ground, well, he just left right now. I think deal with these adepts right now. But it's actually still not as bad as it looks for Deer. All he has to do is defend against this War Prism properly. While defending the front, he does have the defensive advantage at this point. And the more Archons he gets, the stronger he will be against these adepts. And that's going to be the most important part right there. He still has he has 5 Archons. So it's going to be really, really strong from there. And he does have a shield battery. He's recalling something. Okay, he's recalling whatever he had in the main to be able to defend that. And look at that. These Archons doing some hella damage. Look at all these adepts being clumped right now. And that's he's just melting through the front line. He does have one immortal dishing out some damage, but I mean, oh, he just blinks forward, takes care of the War Prism. No more reinforcements from here. And he just cleans this up quite nicely. And what does Cyan even have behind this? Pretty much nothing. He cleans that up, and that's GG, and Deer holds and wins game number 1. Holy crap. I thought Deer was kind of dead there, but no, the Archons pull Lin through for Deer. Pulling through for Deer. That was a fantastic game. We're going to go into game number 2. Hello, Endless. What's up, my dude? Excuse me. All right, we're loaded into game number 2 between these two players. And the bottom right-hand side of Triton, it is the cyan-colored Protoss, Cyan. Crazily enough. And in the top left-hand side, it is Deer, who wins that game, number 1, quite nicely, with a very nice hold. And you know, that composition was really all he took, all he needed really. He was able to melt all of those adepts quite nicely at the end there with his 5 Archons versus I think 2 or something out of Cyan. So that was a excellent hold. And I mean, from there, Cyan was pretty all in. He was only on 2 bases, kind of forcibly so, as those Stalkers just kept counterattacking. He could just never get the expansion that he needed this entire time. It is going to be a double gateway opening again. Let's see if there's any mind games this time going into this game. As last game, Cyan kind of wanted to fake a tech building, and then he went into Robo, except not really Robo. He actually went back into Stargate, so that's some big brain moves right there. But I mean, he couldn't quite get the damage that he wanted to. I think he just took damage 1 too many times from the opponent's Oracles, and it allowed him to not really, you know, secure a solid advantage. He kept killing probes, but Deer just kept dealing some counter probe damage as well, and it kind of equaled out. And eventually, Deer just had the better composition. That's how it works. So that was actually a really close game 1. I'm very surprised, as Deer is a formidable foe, especially in PvP. And Cyan still up and coming, and he's matching all of these guys, which is very, very promising for him. All right, well, it's going to be the double gas. And this time, look at that. Deer going for the hidden tech. Now, this is not a fake out. Although it might be a double mind game where last game it was a fake out of Cyan, so now Deer's going to do his own thing, except Cyan's going to be, oh, this must be some sort of pylon fake out. But it's a double non-pylon fake out. He actually drops a Robo here, so this is definitely going to be a War Prism and or an Immortal timing for sure. Cyan securing his way out with a pylon in the double. Double Stalker seems to be the meta right now, as it is the strongest kind of gateway defensive unit early on, as we've kind of explained earlier as well. The Stargate is going to be the building of choice out of Cyan here. Not sure how good that's going to be against any kind of Immortal timing. But if he gets a couple Phoenix, you know, out, you can probably even pick off the Immortal or just disable it for most of the battle. But he's going to need to be very, very careful as he does that as well. So shield battery going down here into the main. He wants to make sure he doesn't get any counter damage, as you know, if you're going for something 1 base, you might as well not lose anything in your 1 base. So that shield battery is definitely worth it, as it is going to, you know, I'm pretty sure you can burn out an entire Oracle with just your single shield battery, unless the Oracle is like full health. I mean full energy, but that's never going to happen. Does he actually scout this and see what's going on? No, actually no, he scouts pretty much everywhere except here. So this is a fantastic spot to put it. Now, it's not exactly a proxy too. That's why it's kind of hard to scout. Kind of in a random area. It's not close, but it's not that far either. Let's see where he wants to go from here. He does spot this pylon, which is always good. Forces your opponent to build another pylon, so that's 100 minerals down, guaranteed. And then now it's going to be a Immortal into a Warp Prism, and this is where some crazy-ass micro can happen. And what do we have here? An Oracle. This is definitely the worst unit you can have right now. If you had a Phoenix, that would be fantastic, but no, the Oracle is going to be really bad as it cannot do any damage, and it can't actually fight in this army either. He finally spots him. That's a little bit too late at this point. The Warp Prism is on the way with the Immortal as well, and this is going to do a hell of a lot of damage if he doesn't get the shield batteries up, and they're only now starting, and this is going to be really, really late. It's going to be such a difficult hold. There is one pylon, too. That's the biggest part. Okay, second pylon here is on the way. Is he going to let that second pylon finish out? Looks like he will. However, these shield batteries still need to finish. He's going to pick up the gateway, and that's straight up half the production. He's trying to build a Void Ray right now, but he has to start picking stuff off, and Deer is going to pick stuff up with his Warp Prism. Probably going to do some fancy-ass micro. He wants to use that Immortal as much as possible as well, and is going to, you know, kind of prevent those stalkers from actually killing any important units. So as soon as the shields are off, he's pretty much just using the blink ability at this point with the Warp Prism. That's some fantastic micro. He needs to just do as much damage as he can. Nice force field. They're almost blocking that stalker from dying. And nice force field out of Cyan as well, just stopping him from going up the ramp. But this is a really dire situation. He tries to lift this up, but I mean, he's going to lose this stalker for free. He's going to try and pick up the Immortal. Oh my god, it's so close. He doesn't actually pick it off. Oh no. Oh no, and that Immortal is going to start generating shields very, very soon. He does have his own Immortal there. Now, able to stop it, and he does focus fire that quite nicely. Pulls it back. He's going to lose his Immortal. Looks like, no, not quite. He does use the shield battery to actually heal it back up. And this is a micro battle of the ages. Now, he does have a massive advantage in that he does have an Immortal to Deer's non-Immortals. Cyan's making a second Immortal now, and this looks like a really solid defense right now. He's going to try and micro his heart out, but this is going to be really difficult. And now, finally, that's when the Oracle can actually come in and help defend. And this is a pretty damn good position for Cyan right now, I'm not going to lie. Even the Phoenix almost killing the Warp Prism and not quite killing the Phoenix. That was one hit away. Ooh, okay. Well, these are really close to dying, but I think Cyan is in such a strong position. His army is so strong right now, but what's going to be the counterattack? Ooh, some Phoenix. Deer is going for a Phoenix of his own, and now both players deciding to go for the expansion at the exact same time. So they both realize that this is a stalemate. If we go across the map, it's going to be the same. And they both even have the same kind of units. There's actually more stalkers out of Deer. And okay, I just missed what happened there, but I think that was a Phoenix dying or the Oracle dying. But okay, that Warp Prism is going to stay there. And he's not going to do anything from there. He's going to want to counterattack with some Immortals. An Immortal, I mean, and some stalkers. Ooh, look at that. Killing the Observer, very nice. Killing a probe as well, just getting whatever he can. He's going to lift one probe, and any probe he gets is going to be a net win here. 3 Phoenix, 1 to lift, and 2 to one-shot a probe. That's really fantastic. You want to kill that pylon here, disabling that Robo pretty much for good, so he doesn't have time to actually kill that if he wants to get any damage done. But now look at that. The Phoenix already going to town on this Warp Prism, and the Stalkers are going to want to attack it, but with the Phoenix kind of presence here on the map, I think he's just going to dive for it. I mean, as soon as this dies, there's not much you can do. Yeah, you can pretty much just fight the Stalkers at this point. Now, more Stalkers are on the way. Whoa, look at that. The Stalkers from Deer are kind of joining up here. This is really hard to tell from blue and light blue, but oh, he's taking care of all the Immortals, and now the fact that he doesn't have a Robo is all of that disadvantage is all of a sudden kind of nullified. Because if you take out all of the opponent's kind of Robo units, it doesn't matter if you don't make any Robo units. And the counterattack out of Deer, fantastic move, just killing more probes. And so far, 9 probes has been killed on the side of Deer, enabling him to go up to 31 versus 24. Now, these Phoenix are just kind of doing a lot of pressure here. Just keeping the map presence. And they, there's no way that Stalkers can actually catch these. And this is just so much dead probe potential. Oh man, he's lifting off the Stalkers too. He's getting any free damage that he can. He's going to kill another Stalker now. Look at that. Even more Phoenix on the way. I think he's stopping now though. Going into just, I think, more gateways, more economy. As it is quite expensive to keep building a Phoenix. So he's going to have to keep doing some damage with those. And he's going to try and find even more openings than before. But so far, I mean, he's done a fantastic job. and definitely has the economic lead. He's going to have to try and separate these Phoenix from these Stalkers. But I mean, these Phoenix can actually kill these Stalkers. That's the thing. You're going to start overpowering Stalkers. You're in a fantastic position. Look at that. He kills more Stalkers. He gets out. Stargate is one of the most cost-efficient kind of pressures you can have in this game. So, because as soon as you find a weak spot, boom, you pick off that little piece. And as soon as you go to another spot and you find an opening, boom, another little piece of efficiency right there. So dude's gonna keep on the pressure. And I mean, Cyan is just stuck in his base. He can forever do damage. Really, he has blink right now. He can do damage to these Phoenix infinitely, but he'll never kill any, and that's the problem. And if you look at the resources lost tabs, I'm not too sure which one that is. That's not control R. That's like that. No, resources lost. Maybe it's L. Yeah, resources lost. You have Cyan, who's lost 4,100 kind of resources to the 2.5k of Deer, so definitely way more efficient in that department. And okay, well now all of this is grouping together. It's pretty much like that meme. It's like, oh yeah, it's all coming together. We got the Stargate, we got the Robo, we got the War Prism reinforcements, we got the Stalkers, we got the Sentries. And let's see where he can go from here. He's going to try and go into charge from here, but I mean, he's so far away. He has the upgrade going, but he doesn't have a single, like, Zealot on the way as well. He's going to try and go into Archons from here, but I mean, Deer just has such a strong advantage. He even knows how strong his advantage is. 63 armor supply to 36. That supply does not lie at all. And he's going to keep going for it now. I don't think he's going to be able to stop this. He does have a Stasis Ward, and he's going to keep going with some shield batters as well, but I mean, I don't think it's enough. I don't think anything here that he has is going to be enough. He's going to try and force fields his way to his defense, but that's not going to work at all. Now, oh, he even sees the Stasis Ward. Very nice a catch right there, and as it just sends that a step forward, just trigger that, and he just stutter steps his way forward, blocking the main ramp. Even though he has blink, he is forced to blink into the ball of death. He even has the shield batters, but that's not going to be enough. And Deer takes game number 2, a clean 2-0.